Sister Wives fans challenge Mykelti Brown's full-time job. Sister Wives fans are questioning Mykelti Brown Padron's full-time job that keeps her away from her 3 children. She recently opened up about how hard she works, but no one is quite sure what she has been up to. Keep reading for further details on Mykelti's mystery work. Sister Wives fans challenge Mykelti Brown's full-time job. For some time, Sister Wives star Mykelti Brown Padron was making money through an MLM. It was the same one that Mary Brown was a part of. Yet, when Mykelti shared the truth about Mary, she faced trouble. She shared that Mary had been abusive. Since Mary was higher up in the company, that was a big issue for Mykelti. The mother of 3 eventually moved on to another MLM. This was one in which her mother, Cristin Brown Woolley, was involved. Janelle Brown and her daughter, Maddie Brown Brush, were also teaming up with Cristin. They all worked well to promote their products, but Mykelti has since shared that she has a full-time job. Moreover, she stated that it kept her away from her kids during the week. Sister Wives fans were very confused as to what this meant. A follower noted that she was discussing what she makes her kids for dinner, then added, that made them question if she was referring to multiple MLMs or her Patreon she does with her husband, Tony Padron. It was questionable what she was up to, and then another follower chimed in with this nugget. She works full-time at a typical 9-to-5 job, but it's remote. When she was planning the move, she mentioned having to figure out the working hours. She may work on Mountain/West Coast time, even though she's on the East Coast. Recently, Mykelti Brown Padron and her family left Utah for North Carolina. That seems to be the hotspot for the Browns, as Maddie was there first. Janelle and her daughter, Savannah, followed, and then Pavin Brown made his way to NC. A new life. It is unclear when the Sister Wives star got a full-time position. Her husband, Tony Padron, initially had an incredible job in banking. He then left it to pursue gaming from home and also plays chess. Fans and followers were still curious about this position and made that known. Pretty sure her job wouldn't allow her to say what it is publicly, and if I were her, I wouldn't tell people who was watching my kids or what daycare they were at. People who do MLM scams always claim they work full-time. She works full-time and only sees her kids on the weekends. Well, there's some sort of mystery going on here. Maybe she learned what working full-time is from Robin and her full-time job in the closet. Some wondered if she was working remotely, what was keeping her from her kids. Then, others felt it was none of anybody's business where she worked. Mykelti Brown Padron had always marched to the beat of her own drum. From her multicolored wedding dress to her bold takes on family drama, she'd never shied away from standing out in a crowd. But this time, the crowd was online, and they weren't just watching, they were judging. It all began with a simple Instagram Q&A. Mykelti, holding one of her adorable twins on her hip, smiled into the camera. "Yes, I'm a full-time working mom," she said, brushing a wisp of hair from her face. "And I'm so grateful to work from home and spend time with my babies." Cue the explosion. The comment section ignited like Cody Brown's temper on a tell-all couch. Full-time job. Is that code for MLM? One user wrote, accompanied by a laughing emoji. Must be nice to sell leggings and call it a career, another scoffed. A third chimed in with a little more venom. Full-time job? Honey, your mom Janelle was in the dirt dragging water hoses in an RV. That was work. The Sister Wives fandom was many things, loyal, invested, endlessly curious, but subtle was not one of them. The moment Mykelti claimed the title of full-time working mom, fans wanted receipts. What did she actually do? And could it truly be called full-time? The mystery of the job. Speculation ran wild. Reddit threads sprang up overnight, dissecting every live stream, and Lou Laro mentioned like it was a Zapruder film. "She's clearly still doing Lou Laro," said user Coyote Pastrith Seeker. But even Deanne Stidham would hesitate to call that full-time. Others dug deeper, noting that Mykelti had recently partnered with a wellness tea brand, hosted some podcast episodes with her husband Tony, and even dropped a lifestyle coaching link in her bio for a week before it mysteriously vanished. Influencer culture is a job, one fan defended in the chaos. Just because it doesn't involve a time card doesn't mean it's not work. But the louder voices were the skeptics. Influencer. One person wrote, "If it's not paying the mortgage, it's a hobby." Mykelti claps back. Never one to back down, Mykelti addressed the heat head-on in a follow-up live. I see y'all, she said, flashing a tight smile. And I get it, some people don't think what I do counts as a real job. But let me break it down for you. I run multiple business streams, I create content, I engage with my community, and I'm raising 3 kids under the age of 3. If that's not full-time, I don't know what is. She didn't name names, but she didn't have to. The dig was felt. Then came the kicker. My dad used to say he worked full-time managing 4 wives. I think I can manage some leggings, a podcast, and a few brand deals without apologizing for it. A divided reaction. Some fans applauded her honesty and hustle. She's doing what works for her family, one person wrote. Not everyone needs to be in an office to have value. Others weren't buying it. She grew up watching her moms scrape by while Cody played patriarch. She should know better than to call this work. Cristin Brown, Mykelti's mother and the unofficial queen of fan-favorite wives, subtly weighed in with a cryptic Instagram post of her own. A photo of her holding a coffee mug that read, "Busy is not the same as productive." Fans had a field day in the comments. Cristin throwing shade? That mug was louder than Cody in a parking lot fight. She sees what's going on with Mykelti and she's not loving it. Tommy enters the chat. In an unexpected twist, Mykelti's husband Tony, usually the comic relief of the Padron duo, jumped into the fray. He posted a video from their living room couch, babies crawling behind him, and said, "All I know is this. We keep our lights on, our fridge stocked, and our kids loved. If that's not success, then I don't need your definition." Then he added with a grin, "Also, have you tried selling leggings to thousands of women on Facebook Live? It's war out there." That line earned some chuckles and softened a few critics. The real question. But as the debate raged on, the real issue was less about whether Mykelti's job was full-time and more about the changing definition of work in the modern era. Mykelti, like many millennial moms, was forging a career out of visibility, community, and hustle, whether that meant selling clothes, offering brand shoutouts, or simply showing up as her authentic self online. To her, the job was real, the schedule was full, the effort was constant, and maybe, just maybe, that was enough. A final word. The week ended with Mykelti posting a quote to her story. "Your worth isn't defined by other people's expectations. Keep shining, keep showing up." It wasn't a mic drop, exactly, but it was a firm closing of the laptop. Fans, predictably, had opinions. That's not a job description. Respect the grind. Where can I get that mug Cristin had? Whether you loved her, questioned her, or muted her stories altogether, one thing was clear. Mykelti Brown Padron wasn't backing down. And in a world where sister wives had left behind broken marriages and bitter men with bad hair, a confident, self-made woman with 3 kids and a Wi-Fi connection might be exactly what the franchise needed. Let me know if you'd like a spicier version or want to bring in other characters like Cristin or Robin for some added drama.